I would like to share with some knowledge on public participation, the techniques, why we generally use public participation, what for, because it's time consuming and it costs a lot, but still we are willing to do it, and how to identify the stakeholders, how to communicate, how to cooperate. So the problem is that when we have one thing, we can have really different points of view of this thing, different perception of this thing, either this area or like here, the mountain. So people who are using this space or using this thing constantly, they have different attitude. The businessmen will have also different. People from outside will also have different attitudes. We are all people who are consuming, using one thing. And we have our needs. And we said in the previous presentation that we create everything for people and we want to have them healthy, happy, that their level of well-being is really high. That's why we develop the cities. Yes, the cities are for people. So our concern is to find out how they see the place, what are their needs, and what we can do to satisfy more than less people. And the general attitude to things which we don't know, which are new for us, is like we say generally no. We don't want a new road. We don't want a sewage system factory. We don't want any new solutions. We are stick to what we know. And this is a big obstacle in urban planning. So to jump over this obstacle, we have to make people understand the things. We have to make things familiar, so they are not willing to say no all the time. But this is the first attitude they have. No changes. I am used to it. Changes require time, money, changing habits. Changes require things to accept the things I don't know. What kind of things? So no. And this is the obstacle we want to jump over. And to do it, we engage the participants on different levels, depending how deep we want to go and how much time, how much money we have to involve the citizens, the stakeholders. First of all, to reject this no, we want to inform them. This is the basic. We want to inform you that we are planning something, etc. And to inform about the steps, to make them a bit adjusted to new ideas, to develop the awareness of them. But sometimes it's not enough. And usually it's not enough because people don't hear. That's the second obstacle. They are not interested in things also. This is the third obstacle. So we want to change their attitude. That for future special planning, we will have the group of people who are really involved. That's why I also said that it's from short-term engagement, we want to shift into long-term engagement by using hubs, by using living labs, and also other solutions like IT solutions. But first of all, we involve them because we design for them, and we want also make our planning easier. If we have to jump over no, it's also time consuming for the planner. So sometimes it's easier to engage the citizen, to make him feel involved, maybe not feel, but involved, and incorporate in decision-making process, because if I decide something, I would not say no against my decision. So if they feel they are the author of this decision, the word no will not appear. And we have different benefits from public participation. First of all, I think this is the most crucial, is that if we gather the data about the land we want to change, we had remote sensing satellites images, so we have drones, we have geospatial data, we have monitors, sensors, so we can acquire a lot of data. But only people who live and use the space will tell us their real needs. So we can find the problems which are not represented by the data, which are not seen on the maps. And only the people who are using the space, they can tell us that they go from point A to point B every day, and this is not put on the map. So if we don't know where they go, if we do not monitor their patterns of movement, then we can design the things which are not making living there comfortable. And also, by the process of engagement, we still developed the democratic society, and we built successful participation, because people, once involved and guided, if they learn how to actively participate in decision making, in urban development as this public, next time they will be more willing to join this process, because they know how to do it. It's not something new for them. So I think the worst is also the first time, which has to be very successful from this public point of view, not planners even. Because if we fail, if we give the workshop which doesn't work, if we give the workshop where people do not feel satisfied, if they have the feeling of losing time, of losing money, of losing interest, they will not join any other processes. So the strategy for engagement is to help community remain through a long term, and also to shift from information level to decision level. Why? Because it's also the clue of emotions. And first of all, we have to identify the stakeholders who should be invited to our planning process. If we know what we want to change, why we want to change, what are the objectives, what are the site, what is the scope of the site, what is the scope of decision we want to make, then we can invite potential stakeholders. We have a lot of tools like brainstorming, mapping, interviewing, surveying, etc. It's not only the citizens, but sometimes public participation is only focusing on citizens, so we collaborate with people who live there. No, it's not. We have different stakeholders. We have agencies, visitors, government, local government, officials, policymakers, etc. So there's the whole set, NGOs, yes, other community groups. And when we finally map them, then we can analyze them. So we define how important they are for this area. What is their power? What is their interest? What they can give? What they can take? So we categorize them in different shuffles to make the process and organization of public participation process easier. And we want to involve this their stakeholders, because then the whole process is transparent, and we involve them in the process, which is how to say, in which they benefit. So they give something, but in the future they will take something from that. If they are conscious about this, they are more willing to participate in this process. And we have 6 steps for mapping them. And it's good to use the tools which can help you visualize the level of their engagement, the level of their influence. And for this, you can use a lot of charts. For example, one of the charts is power interest. It's very crucial for dividing them into these 4 sets. So you can use the appropriate tools for each group, and they can be different tools. So not every solution for each stakeholders, because those who are of low interest and who are of a low power, they may be not even invited for the decision-making process, but only just monitoring and informing, etc. But those who are powerful, they have a deep interest, they need a very satisfying solutions for engagement there in the process. So not all solutions for all people. And there's another chart which you can use. It's like how much they know and how much they need. So it's also good to understand if your citizens, generally actors in the process, if they have the knowledge appropriate to join decision-making process, or just they have the knowledge to, I don't know, be informed. And so this helps you also to classify them and make this, use these tools which you have more in a more efficient way. So the first step is to find out what kind of stakeholders you have, but also not only divide them into different groups with different needs and different possibilities and different interests, but also to find a relation between these groups. It's quite challenging, but shows you visually what is the network of the people participating in the process. And once done, it can be very helpful for this long-term engagement also. So you know who are the actors, how they are related, and what features do you have, they have. And then we invite the appropriate groups for workshops, for meetings, for discussions. So we have the set tools depending on the level. But the question is always, whose responsibility is for this decision making? Is there a planner's decision or citizen's decision or stakeholder's decision? It should be a compromise, or it's rather that we involve people in this process to raise their awareness, to raise their knowledge, to raise their engagement, to gain the data which we are not able to gain from other tools. And but is that really their responsibility or not for what we design? Or it's just only the planner's responsibility and those who put their signs on the projects? So this is always a difficult question. And of course, formal responsibility is designer's responsibility, the planner's responsibility, decision maker's responsibility. But without involving the citizens, the stakeholders, we we show that these groups have no influence, and if they are engaged in the process, they can feel also the responsibility. Let's say this, I don't want to say artificial, yes, but if I'm engaged in something, I do something and I participate in the process, I feel responsible for this process. So if they can see that they were planning something with designers, planners, decision makers, and it was implemented and it works, and they have the chance of monitoring, there is a big satisfaction of the community and stakeholders, and they can also monitor, they see that something from the page, the piece of paper where they were drawing something really exists, and this is the process, and they can do it, they can participate. And then they keep an eye on the city, on the things which they have developed. They feel responsible for it. If they plant the tree, they will never allow to cut the tree. If they put a bench here, they decided it to put it here, they change the decision also within the public participation process. So we develop this responsibility of the society for their neighborhood, for their city, for their place where they live. And this cooperation, of course, in different countries have different levels depending on the law, but more and more municipalities develop the special units which help to coordinate this participation, and then it's organized within project funds, European funds, and European projects, or it's substituted by the local government. Like for example, in Gdynia, we have the lab, which is called Urban Lab, and the only task of this unit is to organize public participation processes and to participate in projects which developed these tools and solutions to improve this public participation. But also, this cooperation can be very spontaneous. It mostly happens when people say no to something they heard it's going to happen in the city, so they gather. People like to gather and to stay one by one against something. And then it's also a good beginning for public participation, inviting these people for cooperation. There are a lot of barriers. First of all, which is stunning, I don't hear about public participation. It's something which we find very surprising, but mostly people are not interested in creating in their neighborhoods, in being engaged in some processes. But also they don't care about what's going on around them. But also they are sometimes shy, they don't want public, they don't want groups, they are too busy, they have their own business. Even this is the business they developed in this specific location. So they are not interested how the new solutions will impact his business or her business. And then they say, oh, I am surprised that the things happened. But first of all, they don't hear about this public participation, even though we have a lot of IT solutions to inform people. And it's real. When I ask my students, have you ever participated in any decision process organized by the municipality? Barely one person raises his hands. So maybe this is the specific group which is now not interested, but still. We have different levels and concepts of engagement. And here you have the kind of development. So generally from informing process via consultation, we can get to really collaboration and decision-making process. And it's very crucial which level we want to choose and for which group meaning that if we have the set of stakeholders, citizens, and all the actors, and we divide them into different groups using this chart I have shown you, then it's very crucial to join the right level of engagement for them, to make them feel comfortable, for the partners, for the partners, stakeholders who have a big interest in process. We will not offer them informing level or consultation level. We rather invite them for collaboration. And if they are really strong, we will invite them for decision-making process. So we will invite them to make up the decision with us because they are the strong actors. Designing the city is like a game. So we have different people who play, yes, and who is the winner? The winner is not the designer, not the stakeholder. The winner is the right decision. And we have different goals and different styles, yes? So from informing, we go to empowering. So even giving some decisions to the society. So this is the highest level of development. And why it's better? So first of all, we have to link the right method with the right group. But why? Of course, this from informing to empowering, it's time-consuming and increasing costs. But why it's valuable to involve people in this consult, involve collaboration. Collaboration, I think, is the best. Because even though it's time-consuming and it's cost-consuming, it's like our brain works on emotions. When we can collaborate with a group of people, talk about the topic, to be involved in some processes, then we have emotion with this. We are excited, surprised, we are curious, we are angry, we do not agree, we disagree, oh yes, we agree. So there are a lot of different emotions. And when we have emotions, we learn. And this is also the level of engagement which helps you raise the awareness of the society. So it's like wash and go. You involve them, they collaborate, they have emotions, they have their responsibility rises and their knowledge rises. So by the way you educate the stakeholders, the citizens, those who participate in this process. And as they learn, as they feel better, more sure in the situation, they are more willing to participate in future events. And for the planners or organizers who organize the meetings, this process is very crucial how they talk to people. And this is really a communication challenge. So you have to be very clear about what you say, no scientific approach, no expert approach. You have to transform the knowledge to 5-year-old child, and this child is to understand what you want and what you talk about. So you have to use a kind of communication which make difficult things very easy one, to make people understand you. And this is the role of you. This is your responsibility. If they don't understand what you are saying now, it's your responsibility to say it in the way they understand. and climate changes, urban planning, mobility, all these things which are related to planning, strategies, climate changes, all these things are difficult for standard people who have the basic knowledge, but they want, for example, to participate in this process because they are living here. And their knowledge is not on the level like university level, for example, yes? But still, you can explain the physics to 5-year-old kid and to make him understand you and your needs and what you want from this person. So not only choosing the right solution, but also your responsibility is to help people understand you. And it's also the issue of asking the right questions to people. If you want them to deliver you the data, the information about their problems, etc., it's to use the open questions, to ask about their it's first of all, be patient and let them think and give the feedback. So let them discover what they know by asking the right questions. And the right questions are never for yes or no answer. They are always open. And it's good not to, so when you make a questionnaire also, it's good to share this into parts. So one are closed questions and one are open questions. And these open questions are more valuable because people can give you what they feel, what they need, in not expert language, of course. But you will gain from them what you gain from them, what knowledge, information you gain from people is, it depends strongly on what kind of question you will ask them. So there are different questions, and this involvement, like the level of engagement, not informing, not consultation, but involvement. So they are with you for a longer time, allows you for a discussion, for conversation, which is very valuable. And you can really get crucial information on this. But sometimes this does not work. And sometimes people come for such meetings saying, no, we don't want this solution. And then you need the mediation or negotiation or people supporting you in this cooperation. So people who are experts on mediation or negotiation, and let them be there also, just for making the situation calm. It really helps. So not only the designers cooperating with people, but also people who know how to solve the conflicts if they appear. It's good to solve this conflict at the moment when it appears. And tools. You see this slide, it's from Tamarak Institute, a table of different tools which are ready for different levels of this engagement. And which tool you pick up depends on your conditions, on your time, on your money you have, on the experts you have, on the process you have. So it's or technical solutions you have. But I would like to tell you something about the solutions you can use for digital participation. I have this slide, but I think I have no time. And maybe you can think about digital participation public, what are the pros and cons, but let's keep it. You have a lot of tools which are free tools and can engage public into information process, into decision process, so on different levels. And we are all, I think all citizens now have their smartphones, they are using their phone calls, they have apps, possibility of putting apps. So we have the access to this digital environment to be used. The only issue is how to make people to use it, thinking that 62% of people generally don't hear about any activities concerning public participation. So advertising them, using different means of media for inviting people and introducing them. And maybe we should start even from primary schools to have the lessons on how we can participate in public decision making, changing the patterns, changing the habits. Maybe this is the solution. But anyway, you have, as administration, a lot of digital tools which can help you to contact with your citizens, stakeholders, and help their engagement be on a higher level than, I don't know, 20 years ago. And here there's the example for Project Better Reykjavik, which is the online community voting and engagement platform, which develops, and since 2010, more and more people are involved in this process of decision making for any changes which are presented on this platform. So this online consultation, online information, online decision-making process is becoming very easy now due to solutions, the IT platforms which enable this for gathering opinions and processing it. There's also another community engagement platform, which is Police, and this is the tool which can be implemented on different platforms run by municipalities. So this is kind of software which can be adopted to each municipality. And it's also for free, and it's also effective for this engagement of the community. But we have also the public participation. And public, I think it's very beneficial when we are thinking about small local scales, because it's related with the emotions, but it's also a good tool for giving the awareness. And here I would like you to introduce Climate Cafe workshops run by Netherlands by Groningen University. And there is the set of different events which are regular ones, and people from the society are invited to, together with the students, to do some experiments in the field and to do some research in the field. And this is not for a huge amount of people. It's like for selected groups and adapted to it. But this Climate Cafe workshops are run all over now the world. For example, in 25 February, there was in Capovete. So students with local communities were working on designing some local areas against climate changes. The next one will be, the previous one was in Egypt, the same situation. So here with local administration, the university with local administration and local citizens take a site, the real site, and they run Climate Cafe workshop to find the best solution for improvement to remove the obstacles, the wrong effects of climate change on this area. And taking Climate Cafe were also the initiation for the Impetus project, which was developed within the grants thanks to grants of Erasmus Plus partnership building capacity. And the outputs which are here, there's the set of tools which you can use for Climate Cafe, and they are free for everyone. The only obstacle can be is they are in English, but they can be translated into any other language. And these are tools which are paper tools, or some of them are put into app, a special design app, which is connected with Climate Scan database. And interactive maps are the second tool for cooperation with people. So here we have the example of Map Social, a web-based community, because people like things which help them visualize the results of their work, or the data they are putting in, or understand the processes. If we see something, it's more valuable. So using such a maps, they are called in different ways, like interactive maps, for example, is very beneficial. And one of these interactive map is also Climate Scan map, which is connected with the Impetus tools application, and where people can add the data. And this is also the source of collecting the data on specific solutions. And Climate Scan focuses on nature-based solutions and climate change adaptive solutions. But we have to remember that interactive maps for citizens, for the users, they can be a huge source of information on local issues and generally used tools or solutions in all over the world. So, for example, in Brazil, we have some 70 solutions of restoration of waterways or ways, etc. So, these are solutions connected to water, but they are not verified. So, people put inside the projects, the photos, the information from heart, from their knowledge, how they feel it, how they see it, and they are not scientifically identified. So I think some percent of the knowledge put on such interactive maps can be fake, or the interpretation can be wrong. So people can put the picture and give the wrong name of the solution. But anyway, this is a very profitable tool for engaging people, because they put something and they see what they have put in, and they see they are the members of a huge group, because people from all over the world now are using Climate Scan. And this is also the scientific database of the knowledge of nature-based solutions. So they participating in this, they learn. And these Climate Cafe, these workshops are also strongly connected with this map. And Impetus developed the set of tools which can help to unify the data, so they can then become comparable and easier to be analyzed. And it also on one hand, builds the engagement and awares the knowledge, but on the other hand, for the people who analyze the data, it's easier because this is the database to gain the data put by citizens, but gained in a kind of framework, a kind of procedure which gives the valuable data. And these are the procedures for such a data. And here is the example of one procedure that was the first version. And a lot of municipality investments of Rotterdam were supported by this tool, which is called scorecards. And this tool is for analysis the resistance of the streets against climate scan. It gives you the variable value and gaining the value from A to E, you can assess the level of the resistance of the street. And it's very easy because this piece of paper helps the citizen, the people which is not educated, with pictures of markers to put down what they see, and then they gain the value. If there's a bad resistance level, then they are engaged into designing process, decision-making process, but they know why. Because my street, my neighborhood is not resistant to climate changes. The most energy consuming are shared in integrated design workshops, where we have different scenarios, we produce different scenarios, so we discuss all these scenarios, and there are the set of experts, and it's long-lasting participation. But this is for those groups who have the knowledge, who have more interest and power for participation and power for changing the city. And the best way is, of course, to use different tools on different levels of this planning process. And also to combine this face-to-face with IT solutions, which of course is quite, it can be energy consuming, but gives you the best understanding of the site and best understanding of people, and also the most valuable, the most optimal decision made. And here we have the example of Perkin and Weiss Community Campus for University of Kansas, which used a big set of different tools for defining the final solutions. And I think it's quite impressive how many people were involved in this process on different stages, what they gained, how they run it. So this can be, it was supported by Maptiner platform, which is a very well-developed solution, IT solution for processing very complex public participations, and giving you the chance to analyze various scenarios, various gather opinions, etc. But you can also, of course, it's based on GIS systems. And so people were putting the responses on these maps, and then all the answers were analyzed. So a kind of big database was created, visualized, and then the community had really the impact on how to design different parts of the campus. It was then by designers designed, pictured, and presented to the society. So a lot of aspects were involved in this, like safety, like mobility, like facilities. And of course, the target group were students, the university authorities, etc., but also as the university is the open university, so the citizens who or stakeholders who are using this site. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. And
Thank you.
if you have any questions, please let me know. And I think it's my role now invite Paulina for